I guess this is my 10th broadcast. That's cool. So I'm on a stakeout here. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's a machine. He's an engineer. He owns his own machine shop here in Chico. And when I originally tried to serve him, I didn't know it was him. He was getting out of his truck and walked into his place of business, and then I flipped around, knocked on the door, and had it all locked up. There's a bunch of trash inside, and his whatever partner, assistant, somebody came out and said, "Hey, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for this guy." And he goes, "Well, let me see if he's here." And it's just this little shop. Like, let me see if he wants to talk to you, basically. So I said, okay. And he went back. And then as he, hey, what's up, Wild Bill? You on to stake out of your own? Wild Bill. So, anyway, so this guy comes out and says, comes back out and says, yeah, I didn't see him, and I tried to call him and he didn't answer. He might be playing around out back. So I said, okay, so can I go in the back and look for him? And he goes, yeah, go ahead. And so I went to the back. There was nothing. There's a bunch of machinery. So I'm actually going to drive back there right now. There's no cars in front of the building. So when I went back around to the front, at that point I wasn't really sure, but when I went back around to the front, they had pulled the blind shut. I don't see his truck. So this guy, he received a check. So he did some work, some machinery work or whatever for this company back east. And then the company back east paid him. It was like $300 that they owed him. And when they sent him the check, it was for $30,000. And he cashed it. He cashed the check. And so now he's got this big old Power Stroke diesel, and he, sitting out front of his place. I'm just amazed that somebody could do that. Like, so anyway, they're suing him, and so he knows. So he's on the lookout. I can't believe him. But anyway, this is his spot right here. This is his little podunk machine spot, and he's got this all these campers. Actually, I think the campers belong to the neighboring business. It's a RV repair. But anyways, I may not be, I thought I wasn't going to be early enough, but it seems like nobody's here, so I might just have him pulling up in his Power Stroke here in a couple minutes. So he knows what I look like. He knows my car. I almost brought my Suburban because I didn't want to tip him off, but I can back into some pretty tight little corners in this thing, and so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna park back here where I could see him pull up and get him served. So those of you that are watching, looks like Vicky's watching. What's up, Vicky? Tehama County representing. I'm ridiculous, I know. So so how many of you guys, or those of you that are watching, when's the last time you did a stakeout? Looks like my wife's watching too. I better not say anything incriminating. Let's see. Was that car there before? I don't know. Alright, well, gotta find a good spot here. So if you look down that way, on the left, is his spot. Actually, I'm just going to drive by there real fast so you guys can see this little podunk shop. Hey, I mean, everybody's got to start out somewhere. Vicky says, I always carry a box like I'm looking to deliver a prize to someone. That's a really good thing. That's a good little trick. I have a server that does that on every serve because he doesn't want to do more than one attempt. So here's this little spot here. I feel comfortable doing this because I don't see any other vehicles. And let me tell you, this place is packed when they're actually not packed, but there's like 4 or 5 cars here when they're doing it. So if you live in Chico, you're probably... Anyways, whatever. I don't care if people know. It's public knowledge they're being sued. So when I came last time, I talked to the neighbors, and the neighbors said, "Oh yeah, he's over there. I could call him for you if you want." And I said, "No, I'll just go over there and see him," because I couldn't find the unit. It didn't have a unit number, the specific number. I think it was number 4 or something. I couldn't see it. So anyways, one fun thing, if I did find his car and like I was going to do a stakeout after the fact, like I was waiting for him to get off work, one of my favorite things to do is to put the papers on the windshield. Because, you know, for the runners, the people who come out and run to the car and then take off, that's a good way to get them. I've only done it about 5 times. Only one time did it not work as well as I would have liked. I put the papers on the car, and then the lady came out, threw them on the ground, got in the car, and drove off. That's fine because I record her, and she's touched the papers and she's served. I inform her the general nature of the documents, and then I'm a process server serving her and stuff. And the only time it still worked, it's just this lady, she boxed me in. She parked her car behind my car and was freaking out. When I got out and started recording her, she said, "You can't record me," and she was like holding me there, you know, because I couldn't leave in my car, and I wasn't sure what she was going to do because she was kind of cray-cray. And then she said, when I walked up to the car, she's like, "Can you help me? Like, I can't get it in gear to get out of here." And then when I went to go help her, and she just sped off as I was coming to try to figure out what was wrong with her shifter or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know this. What's the longest you've ever done a stakeout? Have you ever sat on an overnight stakeout where you had to be there for hours? I mean, like, I've been on some stakeouts. This one stakeout, they paid us $3,000 up front and just said sit on it till it's served, and that was interesting. And to have people, it wasn't a stakeout for surveillance. It was just that one there. I've done surveillance too, but for stakeout purposes of getting somebody served, that was a big deal. I think we ended up sitting on it for like 36 hours, something like that. But that's a pretty good payday for 36 hours. So I'm going to sit right here so that I'm really not seen. You see the building there? That'll give me, I don't know if you can see the little space right there. The person goes by right there. I'm going to see that truck. It's this big old fancy white truck. And then none of the other neighbors will be tipped off too, so that's nice. So that's probably a good idea for my wife. Tell me not to say anything. Let's see. Bill, you said you served for a couple years. Let's see. Wow, Bill, apparently I could tap a magic wand and give myself a cool look. See, one important thing on a stakeout, this brings up a good point. One good thing to do on a stakeout is to not be too distracted, which Facebook tends to distract What's up, Eddie? Good morning. Eddie's the guy I was talking about, likes to use a box. Yeah, a lot of people like using a box. I mean, when he first came to my door, he's got a UP5 outfit. When he first came to my door, you know that feeling you get when when UPS shows up at your door. He surprised me with it, and I remember looking out the window seeing UPS, and I was like, you know, you get that little Christmas, same feeling you get during Christmas time. I was like, all right, I'm getting a package. Open the door, and it was nothing, because he was just showing it to me. But I imagine serving somebody would be pretty upset. But that's how we do it. We got to get the job done. I think that on the process serving group there's like 83 people. Not sure if it works the same way. I post it directly to the group because I don't want like all my other friends and family. I mean, I don't mind if they see my videos, but it's not really relevant to everybody. It's mainly relevant to process servers. So, so for stakeouts, I like I was saying, I generally do 2 hours minimum. Is what I charge to the client. I tell them 2 hours minimum block, because I feel like if you do an hour here, an hour there, and then you kind of nickel dime, it's hard to really track. But if you have a 2 hour period, like for instance right now, from 7:30, I got here 7:30. I probably should have gotten here at 6:30. If it was a residence, you do like 6:30 to 8:30, and you know you're gonna catch somebody. You won't have to sit there that whole time. But if somebody leaves late to work, like if they work at 9, they're gonna leave closer to 8:30. Someone works at like 7, or maybe they work out of town. You know, you get there at 6:30, you're more likely to get them. If they have kids and they're taking them to school, things like that. That's why it's good to have a 2 hour time block. Same thing for the evening. If you're gonna do a stakeout in the evening, you get there. You know, if you can get there at 5, you know, even 4:45, right, and just sit on it for 2 hours. You're gonna, you know, what you're doing is you're trying to take their work situation and apply it to the time that you're there. You're just trying to. I notice in serving, a lot of it is statistics. If I go out there, if I leave my house in the evening at 4:30, go to the office, and I leave around 4:30, the beginning serves, statistically, the first serves that I hit, I'm unsuccessful. I'm unsuccessful in the first few. I mean, you get some people that are there, retired, welfare. I notice the different towns that I go to, too, it's different. You know, in Chico, it's a little bit, depending on which side of town. But for the most part, it's hit or miss no matter where you go. But I notice Chico, it's a little bit wealthier community and things like that. People are working a lot of times. During the day, it's almost not worth serving. Eddie, if you're still watching, when you serve in Chico, when do you find that is the best time to go serving? I know that Eddie does when he does serves, he does them at all times of the day. Obviously, you're supposed to make attempts at any time of the day, but 95% of them get served in the evening. So what I'll do is I'll route stuff out. Sometimes I've showed you guys this before. Let's see. So this is my morning route right here. That's my morning. Just got like 6 of them to hit before I go to the office, and then I gotta head down to Yuba City. We got a contract down there, so I gotta pick up. While I'm down there, I always go by a few attorneys' offices and serve some papers while I'm down there. Might as well make some money. What are you guys having for breakfast? as Facebook. Hard to tell if that's the one with no filter. Anyways. So some crazy stuff happened today. While I wait, I'll tell you. There's no milk? Maybe I'll get some milk on the way home, honey. Actually, I'm going to the office, so... yeah. Well, some crazy stuff happened. I don't even know where to start. There's, in the process serving community, people are getting served, people are getting beat up, process servers are getting shot, cops. Like I read one. Just saw a motorcycle go by. I know a process server, got beat up by a fishing pole. He went in, to serve Chris Harvey and his family. I don't know if it's not. I don't think it's anybody famous, but his name's Chris Harvey, and he went with a fishing pole, dented this guy, like $1,000 worth of damage of this guy's truck with a fishing pole. I don't know how he did that, but or what kind of truck the guy was driving, but I posted it on the group page. And then I saw some other ones too that were posted on another group. It's just crazy, the world that we're in right now with process serving. People are just people are going nuts over serving. It's becoming a more and more stressful profession, a dangerous profession. My dad, when I first started doing this, my dad said, anyway, there's a green thing. I think I might move to see if anyone parks in front of that. Let's just go closer. I haven't had breakfast yet either, honey. Just so you know. Beautiful girls. Look at it. Nobody yet. I think maybe what I'm going to do... See, what I like to do... It's not because I'm lazy, so don't say that. What I like to do is I like to go, like, position my window where I can roll it down as they're getting out of the car. And I can just be like, you're served, you know. So-and-so, I'm a process server, and these are legal documents for you. Have a good day. The trouble that I have with this guy is this guy... Like, I vaguely know what he looks like. That's kind of the issue I'm having. We got a little higher vantage point here. Try this area over here. Now, this is Salvation Army over here. I tried to serve these guys, and they were like, nope, no serving on the property, and they gave me a whole bunch of guff. Let's see here. We got a little zoom car pulling in. Fast Gone Trash. Fast and the Furious right there. I don't know, maybe the guy would see me sitting right here. I'm gonna risk it. You never know. Some blue car sitting on top of the hill. Who knows? So yeah, my dad told me when I first was getting involved in this, he was like, no, he's like, don't do that. And he was a pretty tough guy. He ended up dying of cancer and stuff. It's a pretty sad deal, but he was like, I'll buy you a bulletproof vest right now. And I was like, Dad, I don't think they make bulletproof vests in man size 5X or whatever. So don't even worry about it. So plus I'm Superman, I can handle it. Well, I don't know about Facebook Live. I don't know if I want to do like a 20-minute video, you guys. So maybe I'll just turn it back on if I see him come in here. But feel free to post and tell me what you think, what you do when you do a stakeout, any tips that you have. Would be appreciated. This guy just pulled in right now. And he might be driving a different vehicle to try to be a little sly guy. I'm gonna drive around there. But guys, leave any tips, any tips, tools, tactics, things that you do to try to get somebody served on a stakeout. I'm by no means an expert at this. This is just something that gets the job done. You got to do it. Stakeouts. Every process server at some point's got to stake somebody out. So if they're being evasive, and especially the client says, "Hey, money's not an option," I say, "Okay, get that in writing via email." That's why you always communicate via email, guys. All right, well, stay safe. Thanks, Vicky. You have a good day, too. And, honey, I'll bring home some milk. You guys take care.